Octopath Traveler is rated T for teen by the ESRB. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Octopath Traveler. In the last episode, we had completed Ophilia's third chapter here in Gold Shore, which revealed to us that there is a rather dark group of people living up here in the Flatlands who have disembraced, that's not the right word, they no longer have faith in the power of the flame, or the religion that is the flame from the beginning at Flame's Grace, and so they have their own savior. They ended up taking the kindling, the embers, in order to do whatever it is they're gonna do. In this episode, we are going to be moving on. We have Cyrus's story next. So what I'm probably going to do is bring Tressa out so that we can... Actually, first I need to take Ophilia off the scholar. And then take Tressa out. That way Tressa is at least able to take on some more abilities. We're going to be taking Tressa out so that when we go to... I'm just all over the place. Stonegard, we can get some new money. We're going to get started right... Oh, really? Nothing? Tressa's on the verge of completing it. So let's throw her in on a skill. Scholar, Dancer, Thief. Let's give her Scholar. No, what am I after? She's more defensive. She's balanced in terms of physical. But if I go this, then her elemental goes up. I think I would want her physical damage to go up, though. So, Thief it is. And that's just so that she has buffed up stats. So I need the bar. Weapon. I don't think the bar is down here. Mini church. Up top? I feel like I've already gone past the bar. Back down. I want to start chapter 3, but I didn't want to start it. Right back here. Oh, Alphen. Anytime you need help, just give old Alphen a holler. Well met, Traveler. What can I do for ya? Well, we want to hear a tale. You make your way to Stonegard after learning that the original copy of the tome you seek might be there, but you can't help but feel that someone's been watching you. The story so far. In Quarry Crest, Cyrus used his powers of deduction to get to the bottom of a series of kidnappings perpetrated by the depraved scholar Gideon, who was harvesting the villagers' blood for his dark research. It was in Gideon's sickening laboratory that Cyrus discovered it. A translated copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Though the history of the dark arts intrigued him, he could not sit idly by while his peers used knowledge for evil. and so Cyrus came to Stonegard, where the tome was bound. Would he find answers here, or only more dreadful questions? Stonegard at last. A sprawling city, if I ever saw one. Talk about searching for a needle in a haystack.
Now then.
First, I should review where we stand. Like as not, the translated copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell was produced by a bookmaker in this town. But where to begin my search? Logically speaking, it would make the most sense to begin at the source. Which means head straight for the bindery. Of course, where else? Oh.
Very well.
Very well, let the investigation begin. Oh, look. A hooded figure. Okay.
Indeed.
Bookbinding requires the finest of materials. Scrutinize. Testimony. I sold a book of my making to Dominique, a translator. His home lies on the east side of town. Very well now, it would seem I owe this Dominique. I'm gonna say Dominic, fellow a visit. I should be able to find him in the workshop just east of here. Gonna just run. Oh.
Excuse me.
Beg pardon. Is this the residence
My
of...
apologies.
I don't know who you are, but I am not in the mood for company.
A moment of your time.
If you could just spare a moment, kind sir. There's something I'd like to ask
Be
you.
gone with you.
I said I wish to see no one. Leave me at once. He seems like a stubborn one. I'll have to find another way. Pray forgive the intrusion. A good day to you, sir. It might behoove me to find out a bit more about our friend Dominic. Let's start with the banter.
Well.
So you were refused? Indeed, it would appear we have no one to rely upon but ourselves. This Dominic fellow, stubborn coot, wouldn't you say? A type regrettably common in the world of philosophy and science. So you're going to find out more about him? Certainly. If I can do that, I might find a means by which to make him listen to me. I shall start by talking to his colleagues and other associates. Good luck. The bookish types are battier than the Carrion Caves. Myself included. Yes? Scrutinize. That Dominic went and shut himself off from the world after only his daughter succumbed to sickness 15 years ago. So that's why he closed himself off. sold some medicine to Dominic about 15 years ago, I think. It was in a spot of bother, as I recall, financially speaking, so I gave him a discount. So he struggled with money. His daughter died. Let's see. Inside this house.
'Tis the merry truth.
Scholars love themselves a good translator. Dominic had a translation commission he thought would earn him a fortune. Still rues the day he said yes to it, poor lad.
Very well.
And that should do it. I dare say Dominic will be more talkative this time. Okay, here we go.
Excuse me.
Beg pardon, Master Dominic. I'm Cyrus, the scholar who called upon you earlier. You again? I already told you, I do not want to see you. 15 years ago, his daughter was lost to sickness. He was translating a book.
But of course.
Yes, if my reasoning is correct, this is undoubtedly why Dominic has cut off all contact with the outside world. I do not mean to open old wounds, friend, but I have heard that you lost your dear daughter to illness some 15 years ago.
Thusly.
Since then, you have secluded yourself and cut off all contact with the outside world. In order to procure the elixirs that might save your daughter, you needed coin, quickly, and in large quantities. And so you accepted an unusual task.
Yes.
To wit, producing a translation of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Who told you this?
Now then.
The book that you translated is now in my possession. Clearly, you are a scholar of great knowledge and wisdom. You took care to omit the most horrific passages, doubtless because you recognized the danger they posed. As an academic, I will not stand idly by as knowledge is used for the purpose of evil. And so I ask you, who commissioned this translation from you? Come inside.
Many thanks.
Thank you, friend.
Listen.
But where should I even begin?
In truth.
15 years ago, a man came here to me with a request he said was of dire import. Strangely, I cannot recall his name. He was a scholar, and from his words one could tell his mind was as sharp as a blade. But what I remember more than anything were his eyes, which burned blood red with a zeal for knowledge that bordered on obsession.
What in the...
Red eyes? Could it be? No, perished the thought.
After that.
They say in recent years he's accepted a prestigious position at the Royal Academy in Atlasdam.
It couldn't be.
Good gods, Headmaster Yvonne?
Yes.
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Yvonne was his name.
In truth.
He came to me, a mighty and venerable tome in hand. That tome was From the Far Reaches of Hell. I did not have to think twice.
Is that so?
Knowing full well the danger posed by the forbidden knowledge within?
Yes.
Yes. I was not blind to the risk. And yet, what choice did I have? The medicines my daughter required cost a veritable fortune, and I am but a humble scholar. So you followed Yvonne's instructions to the letter?
Yes.
Yes. I translated that dreadful tome. All the while, fearing for my life what horrors might come to pass if the knowledge fell into the wrong hands. In the end, even the rarest of elixirs could not save my poor girl. Looking back, I believe this was divine punishment for my sins. Headmaster Yvonne, whatever was the man thinking? You say the book is in your possession. I beg you, promise me.
Leave it to me.
I will see that it is never again used to bring pain and suffering. You have my word. The pain and guilt you bear is surely beyond my understanding, but I hope this will bring you even a small measure of solace. Rest your heart easy, friend, as best you can.
You have my thanks.
Cyrus, was it? You have my thanks.
Come now.
Well, are you going to keep hiding in the shadows, or shall we end this charade? So you were wise to my presence.
Just so.
I knew I was being followed, yes? Oh, it's her. Fancy meeting you outside the academy. You're the headmaster's assistant, Miss...
Call me Lucia.
Lucia.
Greetings.
A pleasure. And why have you followed me here, Miss Lucia?
I apologize.
Forgive me, Professor Albright. I meant no offense. I overheard that you were investigating the whereabouts of a certain tome. A tome by the name of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Is this correct? And what if it is?
In truth,
What I am about to say, I ask that you keep in the utmost confidence. I have reason to believe Headmaster Yvonne is plotting something unsavory involving the self-same tome.
Why?
So the thief who stole the book back from the archives was
yes.
the headmaster himself. Of this, I am all but certain. The headmaster's assistant I may be, but first and foremost, I am a scholar in my own right. I will not stand to see my profession's good name sullied by one who would use knowledge in the name of evil. This is why
Indeed.
you came here seeking my aid.
Correct.
Yes, my intuition as an academic tells me you are a man to be trusted. As you may be aware, Headmaster Yvonne hails from Stonegard himself.
Yes.
Yes, I was planning to investigate that very matter after I was done here. The house in which he was born still stands. Yet there are ominous rumors about the place. I have ascertained its location, but I am hesitant to investigate further on my own. And so I ask, Professor Albright, pray lend me your aid.
I see.
I see. Before I promise anything, I would see the house with my own eyes.
Correct.
I understand completely. You will find it on the north side of town.
Shall we begin?
Very well. Let us pray it a visit straight away. As for whether or not I can cooperate, I will give you my answer there. Is this acceptable?
Thank you.
But of course, thank you, Professor. I will go on ahead and meet you there. Okay. Oh, banter.
Pardon me.
Can I ask you a question, Professor? By all means. What kind of things did you teach back at the palace? Interested in a spot of learning, are we? Then pull up a log and I'll give you a lesson. Huh? History. Let's begin there, specifically with the founding of the mighty kingdom of Hornburg. Wait, I never said... And there followed, and also, in short... He's been talking for an hour now. I'm not sure whether to be annoyed or impressed. But the king, Edbart, if you recall, had his own worries, you see. Professor, can I say something? What is it, Tressa? We really need to get back on the road. Okay, that was cute. Speaking of Tressa's equipment, I totally forgot to make sure. The shadow bow and the jaguar. Okay. She's wearing a silver helm. Oh wow, that's super weak. Horned helm. Protective. Let's change this one. What does the mighty belt do? Oh. Speed. Let's increase my SP. Okay. Up we go. Okay, it is this house here. It's kind of run down now. This is where Headmaster Yvonne was born and raised. According to the neighbors, it has lain abandoned for some 20 years now.
Is that so?
Ominous indeed. Well, shall we let ourselves in? Oh, what's up?